you join me today as the transfer window slams shut for another year, and we have an FA Cup fourth round tie, and I've been offered another job. Hello and welcome to episode 94 of To Be a Legend. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. The FA Cup fourth round tie against Notts County at Meadow Lane. See if we can progress further than we've progressed before. And also we have the Championship Match Day 30 home game at Edgeley Park against Coventry City. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. It does wonders here for me and at the channel on YouTube. And don't forget, if you haven't bought your copy of FM24 yet, then now is the time to possibly think about it. There is a link below. You can buy it from Fanatical. Fanatical at the moment doing a little bit of a deal where you can pick it up for £35.05, which is cheaper than Steam and Epic. Since you were last with us, we've played one game. We've also brought in some transfers, and you may well have seen a certain player sitting here as a key player on our screen. Aaron Ramsey, he's one of the players that has come in the transfer window. Let's have a quick look. We've got a number of players. In fact, only one player coming in that transfer window, if you don't count Tegan Pellin and Lewis Jackson. But Aaron Ramsey comes in on a free transfer. He's come in from Aston Villa. More about him in a moment. But going out the other way, Harry Williams has left. He's gone on loan to Tranmere with a deal for him to potentially go permanently. And Therese Omatoy has left for Salford. He has got a loan future fee of $160,000. I'm trying to get this Harry Williams one to come up as well, but doesn't seem to want to. Maybe there's not a deal there. Maybe there's not a deal there. Anyway. Aaron Ramsey, he came up on our systems. We decided to check in with him. He wanted to come and join us. So he is going to come in. He can offer a little bit of whatever in central midfield, and also on that left side with Dara Costello still out on injury. He's looking possible. So give us a little bit of extra oomph. In that central midfield, 25 years old, 3.5 star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I think he's still got some in him yet. So we're hoping that he can do the business for us. Been at Aston Villa and not doing a great deal, playing a lot of games. Went on loan to Luton Town, where he had 16 appearances, 1 assist, a 6.65, which isn't absolutely fantastic, is it really? But anyway, we'll see how he gets on. We could move him on for quite a bit of money, bearing in mind we have brought him in free, saying around about the 10 million mark, I reckon. That would be absolutely splendid if we could make some money on him like that. That would be really good. Yes, since you were last with us, though, we have played one game, a game against Millwall. It was a bit of a topsy-turvy affair, this one. It all started out on 22 minutes with a penalty from Joe Tomlinson, who dutifully put it away very, very nicely. And it looked like we were going into half-time 1-0. But Jensen Weir for Millwall managed to get them back level, which was rather annoying on the stroke of half-time. 44 minutes, this is what happened. Honeyman back to Fauna. Honeyman found Weir, and Weir hit one from quite a way out, and Cartwright getting nowhere near it. Just 4 minutes after half-time, though, David Abu got us back in front. As you'll see, this bad pass to McCann. McCann got Abu through. Abu from a very tight angle managed to put it past the goalkeeper and make it 2-1. But things weren't to be straightforward because DeBella got a Millwall back level, making it 2-2 after 56 minutes. Joe Lewis basically not getting rid of the ball when he should have got rid of it. DeBella making the most of his mistake, and that was how that ended up. Ballymumba got us back in front on 66 minutes. Oh, a lovely through ball to Mumba. Mumba brings it down, controls the ball and plants it in the back of the net. 3-2 at this stage. And then the Sky Bet Championship goal of the month from Romain Mundle, 5 minutes into injury time at the end of the game. And what a good goal it was. Mundle steadies himself and hits it from a similar distance from Weir, to be fair. Both of them very, very good goals. But Mungo Bridge there. Mungo Bridge? That wasn't Mungo Bridge at all. That was Romain Mundle. I'm not sure if that wasn't his first goal of the season. 12 shots, 7 on target, 1.88, 56% of the possession. They had 10 shots, 7 on target, 0.88, 44% of the possession. It was a game that we should have probably won more comfortably, but actually they didn't do too bad. How does that leave us in the Sky Bet Championship? Well, as it currently stands, we are in 5th on 55 points, sat behind Sunderland, who are top of the table on 67. Nottingham Forest in 2nd on 62. Then a 4-point gap to Reading and Bristol City, both on 58 points. And then ourselves sat down there in 5th place as it currently stands. Just on goal difference from Sheffield United. A point clear of West Brom in 7th and 5 points clear of Stoke in 8th in the drop zone. Preston, Queen's Park Rangers and Ipswich Town. We do have a game in hand over a couple of the teams at the top here. Certainly Sunderland and Nottingham Forest and Bristol City. So if we were to win that game in hand, would give us 58 points. And assuming that we have to win, we have to score goals, we would overtake them on goal difference as well. Depending on how many goals we score, would whether we got past Reading or not. But Reading do have that game in hand as well. And if we were to end up with 58 points, we're only 4 points behind Nottingham Forest in 2nd and 9 points adrift of Sunderland, who are going very, very well at the top of the table. They've both slipped up in their last games, though, as it was. I did also mention in the preamble, we have had a job offer, and unlike the others where I've actually been offered an interview and not been offered the job, I have actually been offered, or had been offered, should I say, the job at Portsmouth. But it was a bit of a strong dilemma because we're so far into this save. I thought to myself, do you know what? It's extra money, bigger wage budget, bigger transfer budget and all the rest of it. But I think what we'll do, it felt to me, it would be one of the things I think he would actually do in real life. And of course, that's the premise of the save. But I think we are doing so well. Had we been mid-table and treading water and probably in the bad form that we were a short while ago, I may well have gone, yeah, let's do it. But as the case may be, I've rejected or turned it down. Oh dear. £10,000 a week they were offering me. And what are we on here? Not very much, I don't think. What are we on here? Where are we? 2.5. Yeah. 4 times as much. I think it's a bit of a bonkers move. But there you go. Such is life. So yeah, Portsmouth did offer us the job. And we've turned them down. What a silly billy that may turn out to be. We play them again very, very soon. So we'll see how that all pans out as well, because it's potential for that to come back and bite us on the rear end, of course. Right, let's get on with today's games then. Notts County first up. It's an FA Cup 4th round. We've played them 3 times in this series, twice in the National League. We beat them at their place. So that's good omen, isn't it? They beat us at Edgeley Park. Well, I don't think it was Edgeley Park. It was Silverlands in those days. They beat us 2-0 in the National League. And we lost to them in the FA Trophy final by 3-1. Presume that was at Wembley. It was. And we lost that. So they've been a bit of a nemesis to us in some respects, but maybe not the others. I mean, the scorers in this case was Girolamo, Perry Moss and Josiah Linton. Do you remember them? Long way back now. And the other scorer was Manny Norquette. I do remember him. Where is Manny Norquette now? He's actually a free agent, so he's not anywhere. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Anyway, that's past history, but it is some time ago. We're talking back in 2024 season, so 4 years ago, as it turns out. So a different kettle of fish altogether today. Let's go and have a look then at the team that will face Notts County in the FA Cup fourth round. And here is the team that will face Notts County at Meadow Lane in this FA Cup fourth round. No Jackson today. He is cup tied, as you will see. We have also injuries to Eli King. He's going to be out for about 4 weeks. Good news is Dara Costello is about a week away now from coming back from injury. And hopefully he will be back very, very soon and add to the squad somewhat. But today's team is this. Cartwright is in goal. Scanlon, Sass Davis, Jake Lewis and Mumba are the defensive line. Hoare is the deep line playmaker. Deep line playmaker. McCann and May are just in front of him. Harrison Burrows, who has been out injured, he's come back. He is playing out on the left side today. Abu on the right, and Tegan Pellin takes the attack today. Clark, Joe Lewis, Bridge, Adofin, Tomlinson, Ramsey making his debut, or potentially could make his debut. Mundell, Gordon and Burstow make up the rest of the bench. And as it's the FA Cup, this is how the two sides look against one another. The Notts County manager, Clint Hill, the manager for them. Alex Bass is in goal then. It's Armour, Rooney, Morrissey and Brown as the defensive line. Jake G and Legg as the defensive midfielders. Diallo, Hunt and Joyce and the attacking midfield, sitting behind Fishburne, who leads the attack. Turner, Comore, Barrington, Luca Barrington, who has played for us, so we'll be meeting up with him again. Hartill, Dean, Wilson, Nolan, Anthony and Holden make up their bench. Confirmation of the two teams again for you. Oh, and the first time we've done that for a long while. No highlights at all in that first half. We were dominant in that first half, but not dominant enough for Football Manager to decide to show us any highlights, which was very, very disappointing. So, as it stands at halftime, Notts County have had no shots, nothing on target, 30% of the possession. We've had 7 shots, of which 4 are on target, 0.40, and 70% of the possession. We just need to convert those chances into goals, basically. And we get a highlight straight away in this second half. Sass Davis on the ball, May, Hoare. And turns out to be our first highlight. May goes out wide to Abu. Abu has Mumba in support. Mumba crosses it deep. Burrows just over the top. Sass Davis, Hoare, May. Another highlight. Jake Lewis tries to flick that one forward. Abu heads it down to May. May out to Mumba. Mumba in space for Abu. Abu goes on his own. But it's come off and they've managed to clear the ball. But only as far as Scanlon. Mumba with a throw in on this near side. Making up for the highlights we didn't see in the first half. Jake Lewis. Sass Davis. Sass Davis goes out wide to Burrows. Burrows is there, comes back inside, and he's potentially going to have a go on his own, but it was a poor shot at the end. They have a free kick now. Joyce with the free kick. It's headed, but it's rumbled on the top of the crossbar. Scanlon with the throw-in on that far side. Burrows, Scanlon, McCann to Hoare. Back to Scanlon. Scanlon crosses it deep, but it's nobody there. And it's all the way back to the goalkeeper, who launches a long one, but Sass Davis is underneath that. Hoare. McCann. Hoare. I thought he was going to make a mistake there. May gets it out wide to Mumba. Mumba has a boo. Abu comes inside. He has a go, and it's gone over the top. I think it's gone for a corner. It has. Burrows with the corner. An in-swinger on this far side. Swung in, but it's cleared. McCann is there. Has Burrows. Burrows was offside. And with 61 minutes on the clock, making two changes, Harrison Burrows has come off to allow Aaron Ramsey to make his debut for us on that left side of attacking midfield. And Tegan Pellin has come off up front, and Mason Burstow comes on to replace him. And the ball goes out wide. Mumba comes back and tidies up. Mumba to Jake Lewis. Hoare. Cartwright. They've kept us shackled up until now. Hoare. Scanlon. Scanlon brings that ball down nicely. He's looking for the support of Davis. Back to Scanlon. Scanlon into midfield. May goes out wide looking for Ramsey. Didn't find him. And as a consequence, we've lost the ball. And Notts County on a rare foray forward at the moment. Sass Davis cuts that out. Ramsey trying to come back to tidy up, but didn't. That ball's gone forward. Hunt's going to get there. Cross it in the area, and he's gone in the back of the net. And Fishburn has scored for Notts County, and an upset could be on the cards. Done all the hard work in... apart from putting the ball in the back of the net, and they've succumbed to caught a deflection, didn't it? Goalkeeper, and I think Jake Lewis unwittingly put it behind the goalkeeper, really. And with 67 minutes on the clock, making one more change, David Abu has come off. We've moved Mumba forward, and Joe Tomlinson comes on in place of Abu in the right fullback position. We need to push on and see if we can get the goal that we're looking for. They have a throw-in on that far side. And we've not been ourselves at all today. Sass Davis, Scanlon, Hoare. Or back to Sass Davis. We need to get back on level terms soon. Jake Lewis comes forward. He's gone out wide. He's got Tomlinson and acres of space. Tomlinson controls it, brings it down. He's got Hoare through to Mumba. Mumba crossed it in. Mumba scored. And it was almost in slow motion. It looked like he was going to cross it. In fact, it's an own goal by Jake Rooney. We'll see that again from behind the goal. We are back on level terms on 75 minutes. And now we need to motor forward. Mumba, oh yes, took it off. It was Burstow was lurking, and Rooney. So two mistakes in this. Sass Davis to Jake Lewis. Back on level terms, McCann. McCann threads that through for Ramsey. Ramsey's not got there though, and it's just gone wide from Burstow. And with 81 minutes on the clock, we made our final changes, and we have taken off Callum Scanlon. He has come on. We moved Tomlinson over to the left side. A Dauphin comes on for Callum Scanlon. And Jake Lewis, who is tiring, has also come off. And we brought on Joe Lewis. So that they are our final changes. And let's go and see if we can win this game. No more highlights. And we're going to another replay for the second FA Cup game in a row. It's replay time, boys and girls. We couldn't beat Notts County at Meadow Lane. Fishburn after 66. Jake Rooney an own goal after 75 minutes. We had 16 shots, 8 of which were on target. We should have won this game by a boatload. 1.46, 68% of possession. They had 4 shots, 2 on target, 0.45, 32% of the possession. Just couldn't put our chances away, basically. Which, of course, does mean that we will have the 5th round draw very, very shortly, even though we don't know whether we're through to that 5th round. But we will, maybe that'll just give the team a little bit of incentive as to what to do in the replay. Let's go and have a look. When the replay is going to be. Well, there it is. It's a FA Cup 4th round replay against Notts County, Wednesday the 16th. So obviously we've got Coventry in the next game in this episode. Then we'll play Blackpool offline. We'll come back for Notts County and Queen's Park Rangers. Don't seem to be able to motor forward very much. I know the 5th round is where Brighton is. So it's going to be Notts County and Queen's Park Rangers. If we get through to the 5th round, Reading offline, and then it'll be the 5th round tie. And as it stands at the moment, Portsmouth, but that could change, so don't bank on it. Well, I don't know that this screen makes matters any better, to be fair. Notts County had literally 5 minutes of that game, and we've only come away with a draw. Look how dominant we were in that first half. Should have been all over them, really, and we didn't have a highlight in that first half. And then the second half, we didn't do badly either. But again, probably not quite so dominant. They did get back into it in that second half, but we just need to make sure we just knock them out of the park when we come back to Edgeley Park. And here's a news item I thought you'd be interested in. Sol Campbell has been reunited with Portsmouth. Confirmed sensational appointment of Sol Campbell as their new manager. A famous 53-year-old was visibly delighted to be returning to Fratton Park, and in quitting his previous job to take the post, it's clearly determined to bring success to the club dear to his heart. Campbell has put pen to a paper on a 1-year deal worth 10,2500. They were only offering me 10, cheeky buggers. It does say Mark Just Offside was considered to be favourite for the job, particularly after he was spotted attending an interview with the club, but they ultimately preferred a different candidate. No, they didn't. I turned them down. What are you on about? Wrexham will now look for a new manager. So he's come from Wrexham then, and be paid $220,000 for their troubles. And so here it is, the draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup. And 18 teams will go into it. 16, the last 16. Our game is the only replay by the looks of it. Let's go and find out who we will play if we can get past Notts County in the 4th round replay. So here we are then for the draw for the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup. And we're going to start the draw. There are the teams that are in it. West Ham, Middlesbrough, Manchester United, Liverpool, Southampton, Wolves, Arsenal, Tottenham, Norwich, Notts County and Buxton, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Chelsea, Manchester City, Bournemouth, Bristol City and Bristol Rovers. West Ham are first out then. West Ham will be at home to Middlesbrough. Manchester United will be at home to Liverpool. A northwest derby there. Southampton will be at home to Wolves. Arsenal will be at home to Spurs. And that's an all-London derby. They're coming out today. Who are we going to get? Norwich. That's who we're going to get. We will play Norwich of the Premier League. If we get by, a bit of a money spinner, that one, if we can get past Notts County. So that is the incentive. We'll do the rest of the draw. Crystal Palace will play Leicester or Chelsea. Manchester City will play Bournemouth. And you know what's coming now, don't you? It hasn't happened for such a long time in real life. I can't remember the last time actually it did happen. But in this sphere, Bristol City will play Bristol Rovers. So Ashton Gate, that's how it's going to be. And we draw. There is the draw. West Ham, Middlesbrough, Manchester United, Liverpool. Some good ties here, aren't they? Southampton, Wolves, Arsenal, Tottenham. So Man United and Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham. Norwich will play Notts County or Buxton. Crystal Palace, Leicester or Chelsea. Manchester City will host Bournemouth. And then it's a Bristol derby, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers. So that's the draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup, and it does mean that we need to get past Notts County so that we can face Norwich at Carrow Road. But some other news from the Championship. You will see Reading have beaten Cardiff by 3-1, which means that Reading move up into 3rd place, having played 30 games on 61 points, 6 points clear of us in 5th. So we do need to, only Bristol City can we catch from the point of view of games in hand. And it's that Portsmouth game that's the one that we won't really catch up until we get to that point in the thing. This is today's fixture list. We're playing Coventry. Bristol City are away to Southampton at St Mary's. Could be a tough match for them there. But if they need to keep going, and Reading, who are in 3rd, are away to Peterborough. Nottingham Forest away to Stoke, and Sunderland away. They're at home to Luton Town. So I think Sunderland could keep going at the top. All right, our opponents today then, Coventry currently in 9th place on a bit of a run at the moment, as we saw from one of the news items. But so far this series, we've played them 3 times. Every time in the Championship, we've won 2 of them, drawn the other one. Last time we played them at Edgeley Park, we beat them by 3-0 on that occasion. Perry Moss and Joe Lewis getting 2, and I guess he's probably got his from the corners or whatever. But today we're going to see if we can replicate that from last season. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that we can. And the team that will face Coventry in this Sky Bet Championship match day 30. And this is how the team looks as it stands. We have no suspensions, I don't think. I think everybody should be back as they were, to be fair. So all good and dandy. Cartwright do have a couple of injuries though still. Hadofin, who picked up an injury in the last game, and Dara Costello is coming back. Of course, Eli King, who's going to be out for a little while longer yet. He's still going to be 3 to 4 weeks away. So a little bit longer for him. So Cartwright in goal then. Tomlinson, Bridge, Joe Lewis and Jackson as the fullback on the right. He prefers to play defender right. Best role is fullback. So that's where we've tried him. He did very well in his first game he played for us. Hoare plays as the deep line playmaker. McCann and Mundell are in front of him. And then Ramsey makes his first start for us on the left side of attacking midfield. Tegan Pelling is out on the right, and they sit behind Lemar Golden, who is restored to the attack. Clark, Sass Davis, Scanlon, Abu, May, Burrows and Burstow make the bench. And this is how the two sides face up with this 4-3-3 formation that we've got for this Championship match day 30, and they're playing a 4-2-3-1. They are currently in 9th on 48 points. We're 5th on 55. Confirmation of the two teams for you. Our first highlight comes 37 minutes in. And McCann through to Gordon. Gordon finds Mundell. Mundell finds Pelling. Pelling's into the area. What's he going to do? He's going to try a funny angle. This ball's still alive, though, and it's gone out for a corner. Worked hard to keep that alive. Tomlinson with a corner on this far side. An in-swinger. Swung in. I'm not sure if that come back off the woodwork. And McCann has it, though, to Tomlinson. Tomlinson to Joe Lewis, who's picked up a yellow card. Jackson. And that was our only highlight of that first half. 3 shots, 1 on target, 0.49, 58% of the possession. They've had 5 shots, 2 on target, 0.31, 42% of the possession. We need to be a little bit better in the second half, I'm thinking. And with 55 minutes on the clock, we're forced to make a change at this juncture in time. An injury to Lemar Gordon. It's a potential knee injury, and he's had to come off. We've replaced him with Mason Burstow. And our first highlight of this second half, nearly 60 minutes on the clock. And it's Coventry with the ball at the moment. And we looked like we were going to sneak the ball off them, but they've got it back. And Jimenez is in, and Jimenez scores his first goal of the season. Why is it they're always the first goal of the season? I mean, we're 30 games in and they haven't scored all season, but they score against us. We go a goal behind on 60 minutes and it's not what we had planned, especially at home. Jimenez brought that down lovely, and I think it's Cartwright is due to be dropped. Question of offside. I don't think he was. So with 61 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes. Tegan Pellin, who's not having a good day, he's come off, and we have brought on David Abu for him. And we've also taken off Charlie McCann in central mid. Ramsey drops into that central midfield role. Let's see if he can play better there. And Burrows comes on for McCann. A bridge to Jackson. Jackson. Joe Lewis, McCann. McCann finds Ramsey, who's changed position, of course. Tomlinson to Ramsey. Ramsey through. Burstow! And he couldn't put it away. It's gone for a corner, though. Joe Lewis. Hoare comes out wide to Tomlinson. Tomlinson to Ramsey. Ramsey finds Burrows. Ramsey seems to be playing better. Tomlinson crosses that ball. Burstow! Oh, and the goalkeeper makes a save. It's not gone out. Cross back in. And Burstow gets it. He's 22nd of the season after a second attempt. And that just goes to show that you don't leave it for dead. And Tomlinson didn't. Burstow, save made. Cleared by Edwards. Looking as if it was going to go in touch. Hit the corner flag. Stayed in. Tomlinson crossed it in, and Burstow put it away. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making a couple more changes, our final 2, in fact. And McLean Hoare, who has had a good game, is tiring, and Adam May comes on to replace him. Lewis Jackson on a yellow card and also having a pretty poor day, really. Tomlinson moves out to the right. Scanlon comes on as the fullback on the left side. That's all our changes. They have a free kick and it's swung in, but it's saved by Cartwright and it's gone out for a goal kick. We have a corner. Burrows with an in-swinger. It's cleared back out of Burrows, though. Burrows comes inside. Can we get something from this? May. Try to throw it through. May has a go from distance. It's gone over the top, and that will probably be our last chance. Or will it be? Because there's a highlight. We're in the 6th minute of 5 added on, and they're killing time. It's not going to be anything left in this, I don't think. It's all over. And it's a 1-1 draw. We were lucky to survive that, getting back in after 7 minutes after we went behind from Jimenez. But a game that we would have expected to win, really. They had 10 shots, 5 on target, 0.85, 44% of the possession. Again, we've had the most of the possession. We've had a good XG, 13 shots, 6 of which are on target, nearly 50%. I just couldn't find that touch that we needed in order to get us through. And it was a good job that Joe Tomlinson didn't give up when that ball hit the corner flag, and Burstow was able to put it away. It's a 1-1 draw. Let's have a look and see what that's done to the table. Well, with Bristol City beating Southampton at St Mary's, it does mean that we've taken our foot off the gas here. We're just in the final playoff place at the moment, 2 points clear of West Brom with a game in hand. Bristol City on 61 points at the moment. If we win that game in hand, we would go above Sheffield United, but it's Sunderland at the top. Sunderland lost to Luton Town. There you go. There's a turn up for the books. So they're losing a bit of ground at the top there. Nottingham Forest not able to make full fat of that, even though they won at Stoke, but they have closed the gap on Sunderland by to 2 points. Reading now only 3 points adrift of Sunderland, so it's all getting very close at the top there. There's a 3-point gap to Bristol City, and then a 3-point gap down to Sheffield United. 2 points from us, from Sheffield United, although we do have that game in hand, as I said, which would propel us to just 2 points behind Bristol City in 5th place. If it came down to it, Portsmouth, Queen's Park Rangers and Ipswich Town are in that bottom drop zone. Portsmouth, who we turned down the job for, losing 3-1 to Hull City. That in Sol Campbell's first game in charge. Well, Lemar Gordon picking up that injury in that game, and he's going to be out for 5 to 6 days. So not too bad in the scheme of things. So that's the best news we could have had, I guess. Right, we'll finish the episode. 2 draws in the episode. One totally unexpected. The other one, considering the form that Coventry in, probably would take that, but it does punch a hole in our little run that we were having. We are unbeaten, though, in 7 games now since we lost to Hull City 2-1. But 3 draws out of that, 4 wins and 3 draws, which means that we have dropped only 2 points, actually, as it turns out, in the Championship, because the others, of course, were cup games, and we have the FA Cup 4th round draw, 4th round replay to come. Blackpool, we're going to play offline then. We'll be back for Notts County and Queen's Park Rangers in the next episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of To Be a Legend and our other series, of course, Project Turnaround, where we're managing Brentford, and it's not easy, I tell you. And of course, other series as they're released, especially FM24, because it's just round the corner, boys and girls. And if you haven't bought it yet and you're thinking about buying it, there's a link down in the description. Go and order it from there. I think at the moment you can get it for £35 and 5 and you need to use the code. I will put the code down in the description as well that you need to use in order to get your extra money off. New episodes of To Be a Legend released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 95. We'll see you on Monday, and till then, goodbye.